Welcome to a special edition of Inside CofC Women's Basketball with head coach Natasha Adair. And a very memorable season, coach, filled with accomplishments. A lot of individual things, a lot of team things. The 16 wins was the third most in the last 23 years of the program, so getting some significant things done.
Day one, after I met the team and we talked about just who we wanted to be. And we had a couple of catchphrases and slogans. I'm sure you remember those. But the two really that stick out, the first one was expect, encourage, and exceed. And we talked about that all the time. I'm sure if we go back, we could find some of the past interviews about that. But I really think we became that team. We expected to win. As I sit here and review and just game by game, and we encouraged each other to win, and we exceeded clearly all the expectations. Another motto that we talked about was the new standard is uncomfortable, and I think the kids could really attest to that. And the first time they really saw how uncomfortable it was going to be was in preseason, and my hat goes off to Steve Bamel and Amble Manor. They really stepped outside the box. We met about how we wanted to design the season and how where I wanted to see the kids improve, and we challenged them. We challenged them with beach runs. We challenged them with bridge runs, and forcing them to get through that uncomfortable stage and really push the bar and push each other with different mile times and 17s and just different things to challenge them. But again, they surpassed everything that we threw out to them, and then they started making the opponent uncomfortable because for them it was easier. For them, they expected it to be a little challenging or a little difficult, and just to see them mature throughout the season with that and their toughness and their confidence. I couldn't have drawn it up any better.
One of the things that you came in here and stressed was the academic performance, and that was something that you were very proud of this year.
Absolutely. Just another way we raised the bar. Again, the kids, we challenged them a little bit. When I came in, the GPA just wasn't where, again, I wanted it to be. And I think sometimes you hear so much about athletics, but I want people to know, parents to know, supporters in our administration that academics is first. The message has been conveyed, and the kids are, they're good kids, and they want to do whatever they need to do to help. Getting the text messages from players telling me that they aced their exam or they got a 95 on a test, and those are texts that I didn't get when I first got here. But now we're speaking the same language, and we're changing that culture, not just on the court. I want our kids to be well-rounded. I want them to do well in the classroom. I want them to make great impressions on the other side of campus, not just in athletics. And again, something else that they embraced. As a team, we talked about who we wanted to be as a team. And we talked about, the kids say, well, Coach, I want to win. Well, what does that mean? And let's really break that down and what were our expectations. And when you come in and take over a program, clearly we want to change so many things, but you have to target certain things. And this year we really wanted to change the culture, and we wanted to just regain that winning mindset and that winning attitude, and that was something we really talked about. But we also wanted to change the pace that we played at. And I think we did that beautifully. And I really wanted more for our seniors than anyone, just because for the first couple of years they might not have reached the maximum potential that they wanted to. And so for us being able to score 20 more points this season per game than they did a year ago. We reached 70 points in 10 games or more this season. We just set so many records. We won 16 games, more than doubled our win total from a year ago, and that's just the icing on the cake. But it's not really, I really want to highlight what the individuals did to help us achieve team success. And Letitia Harris, a phenomenal senior season. I wish I had Tish a little bit longer, but just a phenomenal season. 24 double-doubles, rebounding leader, College of Charleston rebounding leader, record breaker, Catherine Hardy. Again, if we had a category for hustle points, she would have just blown that away. Offensive rebounder, just an act for hustle. I mean, whenever there was a ball, Catherine was around it. Whenever there was a hustle point to be made or a hustle play to be made, Catherine made it. And again, her energy and her work ethic will be very hard to replace. Alyssa Fry and Jillian Brown, two players that came to work every day and didn't really fuss about anything. Whatever we asked them to do, they did. And they were one of the highest recognitions for both of them. They finished the season and ranked in the NCAA, so ranked nationally. Alyssa Fry finished 15th in the nation in three-point field goals made, and Jillian Brown finished 13th in the nation in assists per game. So I don't know if they teamed up and said, okay, if I pass it to you, you have to make it. But it worked beautifully. And that 1-2 punch, that 1-2 tandem, we're excited because we get it back for another season. For us to be successful down the road, we always talked about our depth. And it wasn't just the big three or the names that you heard consistently in the scoring column or assist column. And the next young lady, Free as we call her, Free came on strong mid-season and was a consistent force for us. On the perimeter, around the rim, rebounding. Again, she was just a solid contributor. Michaela. I smile when I talk about her because out of the most improved or just watching the players grow, Michaela Hopkins, our 6'5", gentle giant, as I call her sometimes, just has blossomed. And she started a little slower because she had some nagging injury deals. But then once she healed and really changed her focus and her mindset of what she wanted to deposit to this team and get out of her play and help the team be successful, she really transformed into that force inside. She changed the game more than she knows with her length. And I don't know if you all know, but Michaela was the most efficient scorer from a field goal percentage. She led the team in field goal percentage. Shannon Hines. I would love to say it in her dialect, but she'd probably get mad if I said it. We kind of talk about her little southern drawl all the time. But Shannon Hines grew up this year. Our only freshman, and that's a hard place to be. But watching her, just her confidence get better and better, her toughness on the court. Shannon is a scorer. She gets in the game and the light is green and she is on. I don't know if I've ever seen a player come in that ready. The next three players, again, Jazz Green, Christy Hewitt, and Brittany Johnson. All three of these players, in addition to our bench, were integral parts of our success. And again, on any given night, our starting lineup changed. There was no dominant heavy. There was no, and that was the one thing we talked to the players about. We consistently talked about their effort. I didn't care who started. I didn't care who finished. I wanted players on the floor that was going to bring it. And that was going to step outside of themselves and make the hustle plays and encourage a team and do the little things. And the more players that did that, the more time that they saw. And Jazz, Christy, and Brittany were those integral parts. And I will tell you, our bench scored in double figures 25 out of 30 games. Our bench averaged 18 points per game. Erin Hall and Brianna Davis-Bloom, I think this year was the hardest year for those two. It pained them to be on the sideline and not be able to play. And for those that don't know, Erin Hall transferred to us from Wake Forest, and Brianna Davis-Bloom transferred from Norfolk State. And with transfer NCAA rules, you have to sit out a year. And so this was their year, so to speak, of residency. And But let me tell you, they brought leadership. They brought a competitive edge. They brought a toughness to practice, to game prep. Um, and they helped raise the bar. There were practices night in and night out where, again, I know they would prefer to be on the team getting ready to compete, but they embraced whatever it is we needed them to do. If we're preparing for an opponent and you're the star on that team, and you know, Aaron, Bree, you have to kind of emulate other players and other teams and members and things like that for our success. And they never wavered. November 9th, Coastal Carolina. We had a great crowd. My mom was in attendance. You know, it's for her birthday, and just to get that first win, that first just emotional win that you know we prepared for, and me as a coach, you know, and hoping that it all worked, you know, all the things we trained on and all the things that we worked on. Hopefully we put it together, and it did work. Another game that kind of stands out um, was the win against Richmond, and first A-10 win since the 1980-81 season. Um, Clearly none of these players were born. But just an A-10 opponent. And Richmond is a tough, competitive team, a veteran team, and they came in here, and our kids, again, the game plan was designed beautifully. The kids bought in, and we executed down the stretch to win a very big game. And these wins were giving our players confidence against Sanford, and to be able to beat Sanford, which is an NCAA team, tournament team, and the first time ever. We had never beaten them in the history of the program, and for our kids, for our seniors, to know that they are going to go down in the record books for doing something that had never been done, was again teaching them that they can win, that they can expect to win, that they can encourage each other to win and exceed. Because again, I'm not a betting woman, but I'm sure people didn't think that we were going to get that done, but they did. Another win, great program win, was at Davidson. Another NCAA team, a team that's picked to win the conference, a team that's always finished in the top of the conference. And again, it was our third time in program history beating them. But to go on the road against one of the top heavies in your conference and to beat them. They had what they projected as a player of the year on their team. And again, a veteran team. And I don't take anything away from them. I'm proud of our team and our girls and what they accomplished. And we fought in that game, and hungrier throughout the game. And when they could smell victory, I mean, it was like they had their foot on the gas and they weren't going to take it off. And just, I see their faces as I'm talking to you about it after the horn sounds and we won. I mean, just the excitement and just the internal happiness of we did it kept building in this team. And again, this was a season where they picked us to finish 10th. And we finished the regular season in 5th place. The telephone that I got that invited us to postseason play, the Women's Basketball Invitational, the WBI. Well, here's another opportunity for our student athletes to be playing deep in March when that opportunity is not afforded to everyone. There were teams that were done after their conference tournament. Well, our team got to continue to play and got to continue to grow. Tasted that postseason success. And now they know they have to prepare now in the off season to be great next season. And so just changing that mindset. We talked about building winners. Well, I think we're on the right track with that. And it's a direct connection to the kids wanting to be better and wanting to do whatever it takes to get the results. I sit here calm, but I'm really not. I'm so pumped about what we did, and I'm just looking forward to so much more success.
outside the hectic summer, will you have a chance to spend some time with your family and do some things?
Absolutely. I'm so excited because aside from being Coach A, I'm just an AAU mom, and my son is on that AAU circuit now. And it's a funny, let me tell you, when I took the job, he was 5'10. He is now 6'5. I'm not doing a recruiting plug or anything. I'm not trying to sell my son, but whoever listens to this, I mean, he's a lefty, he can shoot it. But anyway, um, no, I will definitely have time, some downtime to spend with my family, and I've actually a couple of weekends been able to be that AAU mom and sit in the gym and just be supportive of my son who's playing, and my daughter, she still loves gymnastics and she's tumbling everywhere and just doing the family thing and bonding, because again, the year was intense, and sometimes people don't really understand certain sacrifices that families make for the ultimate success. And that's one thing that I'm so happy that I do have, that support. My husband is just a gem, and I just couldn't do this without him and his support. I want to thank uh, President Benson, Joe Hall, um, for giving me this opportunity. Dwight Johnson, Board of Trustees. Um, but there's so many people, and I don't want to exclude them, and if I do, my apologies up front. But just the college supporters, the athletic department, Mr. German, who gosh, has handled so many compliance questions, and just available for recruits, and Mindy Rieger and Keith Merritt, who really keep us balanced academically, and our support staff of getting it done here in this building and on main campus is second to none. And I appreciate, all of you all for just allowing women's basketball um, to kind of merge into your family, so to speak, and for you to just welcome us with open arms, and share all the information that you've shared, and just be that resource for us. So again, I do thank you all um, for this opportunity. Um, I want to thank our supporters, our boosters. Again, I talk about Dwight, but I have to talk about Uncle Larry. Uncle Larry sits behind the bench. I want to thank our cheer and dance team. They've been amazing. Our marketing staff, the mural on King Street, our posters. I mean, everything that goes into us making us that championship program. Is Amanda Taylor. Not only does she bake, um, and she bakes pretty good, let me tell you. Probably better than a lot, except my mom. But Amanda does a phenomenal job. Our trainer, because again, she went over and beyond the call of duty. Amanda, you made sure our kids were ready to compete night in and night out. You raised the bar of just expectations in that training room for what they had to do and how hard they've had to work. And I think that we worked so good together. Just an extension of you and I. Jeremy, you have done just so much for our program. J Money, as we call him, Stat Guy, as we call him. He has so many names. And that's just an attribute to all the hats that he's worn for us this season. From day one, you were here, you bought in. You introduced yourself to me. We had breakfast at the Final Four, and the relationship, friendship has flourished. And so you've always been a step ahead. You've kind of been my rock and my foundation here, and just helping our program just getting nationally recognized. This one goes out to my staff. My coaches, my left and right arm, my support. And from day one, from the time they stepped on this campus, they have just displayed Cougar pride, character. They work tireless amount of hours, all in the name of team, all in the name of just building champions and getting it done for the sake of the program. To Bob, I thank you. To Don Ches, I thank you. To Melba, I thank you. To David, I thank you. Without you all, we wouldn't have had as much success as we did. I saw our fan base increase. I saw our attendance increase. And I'm excited about the future. The word is out. The buzz is out for the people who've seen us. I know you've come back. For the people who've heard about us, check us out. I want our women's basketball to continue to strive to be the best, and be the best in the classroom and on the court. I want us to continue building great people and just exceptional professionals. And we do that with everyone here. We do that with all of your support. We do that with all of your backing. Again, this has been a great season, a great first season, one that, again, I will always remember. And I'm excited our seniors get to walk out of here with so many fun memories, so many firsts, and just leaving a legacy for the student athletes to follow of just winning